You're right there, LGU. It is Crackoon again, bringing you another gameplay slash commentary, man. Y'all know how it is. Once again, coming back to you with a beast-defying rushing gameplay. Unfortunately, I'm going to be using the gold Spectre again. Like I said, the gold Spectre is kind of my go-to SMG at the moment, and I don't know, I just keep on continuing to use it. And like I did in my last commentary, I was talking about how to be an effective rusher and to pretty much run out of time within that com, and then I said I'd gonna have to bring it on again within another part 2 of that commentary. And pretty much I finished up that com talking about generally weapon class setups and all this kind of stuff to ease yourself into the rushing playstyle. And I said, well, I'm going to quote myself. What I generally said was, if you've never really rushed before and you're generally thinking about trying to get into a bit more rushing playstyle, simply set yourself up with the AK-74U, and obviously the attachment is to your preference, and pretty much just get yourself going along with that. You may want to use a red dot sight because you might not be accustomed to the iron sight, so you may want to use rapid fire to give yourself a bit more of an advantage of like spraying off the hip, or you may want to use extended mags if you think the AK-74U has got a good rate of fire already, but you just don't think it's got enough ammo because you keep on spraying all over the place to try and get your aim on right. So pretty much that was the first kind of thing that I said, and like I said in my last commentary, I wrapped up to the end and I kind of rambled on a little bit in the first part 1 of the com, and I generally rambled on and then didn't get enough time to really talk about all that kind of stuff. But as you see there, man, second chance once again defeats. I don't know. I'm not even going to go into it. I'm not going to go off on another side tangent again. So as you said there, that was my first kind of commentary. No, my first kind of idea or tip for helping you to become a better, effective rusher. What I'm going to do now is going to proceed to bring you a few more tips. And my second tip, straight off the top of the bat, right? This is more to do about with flanking and how to perceive flanking and how to know when to make the right decision and everything like that. And generally, right, what I'm going to put to you is, whenever you're trying to attempt to rush, never rush along with your teammates. Space yourself out distance-wise from your teammates, because the more distance you get away from the teammates, the more of an effective rusher you're going to be, because the main part about being a rusher is not to be well, obviously to flank the enemy, but also for the enemy not to expect you to be flanking them, but also by that fact, if you're running alongside with a load of your teammates, you're going to draw more and more attention instead of you just running along trying to flank them solo. So there's my first number, there's like the first part of my second tip. The second part of that kind of, within the same kind of genre of that tip, is deciding your flanking route. And obviously there's a few ways that you need to put variables into this and decide how to work out which way to run. And the first off is obviously trying to predict where the enemy is going to be, and you can do this a lot by obviously by UAVs and spawn knowledge and generally skulls on the map, and there's a few different ways you can work out where the enemy is going to be. But once you've worked that out, that's pretty much the simple part of working out roughly where the enemy is going to be. What you want to do then is, I want you to think of the direct route to get to them and then go around, if that makes sense. I know it makes sense to me because, well, pretty much what I'm saying is, think of the direct route how you would normally get to the enemy. If you were just thinking, going to fly straight as the bird, going to go right to him, and you're probably going to get slaughtered. Think of that direct route and then go around. Making deviations to your maneuvers and flanking routes is always what keeps you to be a better rusher, because it keeps you unpredictable, and then the enemies can't predict what's going to happen next. For instance, if you ran the same flanking route 3 times in a row and you kept on walking into the sights of some guy using an assault rifle, they're going to pick up from that, and the enemy's going to learn that you're probably going to do the same route again. So, that being said, obviously, keep mixing up your flanking routes and never use a direct route, always use indirect routes. That being said, also, what was I going to say now? Bagger. Completely forgotten what I was going to say then. I was just talking about it and everything. Also, yeah. Yeah. That brings me on to another point. Be unpredictable. Never, like I said just before, never use the same route twice. If you get killed one way, don't go that same way. Go all the way around another way. And obviously there's a lot of perks and stuff that help you out for maybe making these maneuvers and maybe making yourself a bit more unpredictable and everything like that. The two ones that mainly come to the top of my mind is the first perk being lightweight and then the third perk being marathon. Both of the pro versions of them will help you out substantially more than just having the basic one of them. Especially with Marathon Pro anyway, with the constant sprint time. That's mainly the one you want to work for. So to be an effective rusher as well, I hate to say it, but you're maybe going to have to put a bit of work into getting some of your pro perks and shit. But anyway, that was like part 2. I don't know whether or not there's going to be a part 3. I went 36-5 with the gold Spectre. It was a pretty scrubby team. It was a pretty scrubby enemy team. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to poon the noobs if Black Ops decides to give me him. But that's the end of the commentary. And peace, LGU.